Okay, so once again, good day. So for today, we're going to discuss about the introductions of the research method intended for information technology. Today, IT and its related systems and services include every facet of the business and society. As a result, of course, IT fields often consider the historical perspective regarding the issue at hand. So obtaining historical empirical research is usually the first step, toward solving a problem. Additionally, the researcher or the IT researcher usually needs or wants to know if any of other organization has experienced a similar problem or situation. And this is where case studies, interview, experiments become the preferred primary source of information. So the growth in advances in information technology had been stipulated or stimulated by intense innovation and research efforts, taking into considerations other research efforts in other industries. So IT has shown to have one of the most funded research investment by organization and governments alike. No? And this is due to the fact that IT and its services have become a critical resource for many organizations today, driving profitability and boosting productivity. In this topic, we will attempt to analyze and discuss the types of research methodologies that have been used to conduct studies in the area of IT project management. No? And this topic will also attempt to compare and contrast these methodologies and analyze the issues of the bias and limitations of these methodologies. And to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our first presenter this afternoon. Go ahead.
Okay guys, my name is Aldrin Lapuyan and I'm going to report the introduction in research methodologies in Infotech. Next slide. Next slide. Introduction to research paradigms or research patterns to make a better research. This is where we understand the fundamentals paradigm and philosophies that underlie research information technology, including positivism, interpretivism, and critical theory. Next slide. So we have here a bunch of patterns or paradigms such as research methodologies, research ethics, literature review, research design, data collection, data analysis, research writing, presentation skills, critical thinking, research project management, interdisciplinary understanding, research ethics and compliance, peer review and collaboration, and lastly, research proposal development. So that's the pattern or paradigms in research. Next slide. So in research methodologies, this is where we gain proficiency in a range of research methodologies commonly used in information technology research, such as quantitative, qualitative, mixed methods, and action research. It also provides broad coverage of the issues, concepts, methods, and techniques associated with computer science, software engineering, information system, and information management research. Research methodologies introduce students to major research paradigms. The principles of research design, research ethics, and research methods and techniques of data collection and analysis appropriate to it research generally and to their subdiscipline, especially it covers oral, written, online and video research communication skills developed and knowledge acquired from this until will prepare students to conduct and communicate their own research, as well as to be knowledgeable and critical interpreters of research more generally. Research ethics. This is where we develop an awareness of ethical consideration and guidelines specific to IT research, including issues related to data privacy, informed consent, and responsible conduct in research. Information technology ethics is the study of the ethical issues arising out of the use and development of electronic technologies. Its goal is to identify and formulate answers to questions about the moral basis of individual responsibilities and action, as well as the moral underpinning of public policy. So sa research ethics po, ito yung mga consent na po sa mga tao doon, kung parang philosophy na siya kung tama ba or mali ba yung dapat niya i-conduct na research. Next ako. So we have here literature review. Alam naman po natin yan is learn how to conduct a comprehensive literature review, including searching and synthesizing relevant research papers and identifying research gaps and trends in the field. An example. So we have here research design. Research design research studies and experiments, formulate research questions and hypotheses, and select appropriate data collection and analysis methods. Research design aims to give a clear picture of the structure of the research and the use methods such as data collection, research question, and sources of data. Also, research design enables the researchers outline all needed methods and tools for the research, like selecting theory of project and research methodologies. Next one. So we have here also data collection. Data collection is where you acquire skills in data collection techniques, including surveys, interviews, observations, and data mining, and understand the strength and limitation of each. So the word itself, data collection. So we have here, next example, data analysis. So my last part is data analysis. Data analysis is where you develop proficiency in analyzing research data using statistical software. Yun na po yung mga sa pang-IT. Qualitative analysis tools and other relevant methods depending on the research approach. Data analysis. Data analysis will support you to identify high-performing programs, service areas, and people. Once you identify your high performers, you can study them in order to develop strategies to assist program service areas, and people that are low performing. So sa data analysis, dito po yung magko-collect kayo yung sa mga data na collect nyo is i-analyze nyo kung yung lugar mo yun is may ganong cases or wala. Ganun po. Next na. Next report po. Dito.
Hello po. Rinig po ba? Rinig po?
Rinig tol.
Oh, so, research writing mastery, this is all about getting really good at writing research, proposal, reports, and academic papers. For example, we will learn how to structure a research paper, cite our sources, source properly, like using APA or MLA style. Make sure our writing follows the academic standards. Next po. Then there's presentation skill. This is super important because we need to know how to present our research finding in a way that's engaging and clear. Image presenting a project to a room full of experts. You will learn how to create compelling visual aids, speak confidently, and handle question effectively. Next one. Next, we're going to work on critical thinking. This is all about being able to really think about and evaluate the research we came across. For instance, we might read researches and study and decide if the method they used were solid or if there any potential bias in their findings. This is our own research. Next. Research project management. This is another big one. We will learn how to plan and run research projects efficiently. That means managing our time well, using our resources wisely, and thinking about any potential risks. Just think about organization and a team project where everyone has a specific role and deadline. That's the kind of project management we will master. Next po. Then we will get into the interdisciplinary understanding of information technology. It's not just about IT. In its own, we will see how connect with computer science, software engineering, multimedia, and system. For example, we were working a project related to data analytics. We will need to understand how it fits into the larger field of information system. That connects to research. Research ethic and compliance. Compliance is something we can overlook. It's all about doing a research in an ethical way. We will learn about the rules and guidelines that we need to follow for our institution and the industry. This might involve ensuring that our research respect the privacy of participants or following a specific protocol, for example, involving human subjects. Thanks. We, we will also dive in peer review and collaboration. This is where we help each other out. We will learn how to review our peers' work constructively and how to work effectively with other researchers in the field. Teachers being a part of the team where we each provide feedback to strengthen each other's project. That's what we will do. Next. Next po. Finally, we'll tackle research proposal development. This is a big one because it is where we lay out our plans for research. We will learn how to set clear objectives, choose the right methods, and predict what we will find out. For example, we were proposing a study on the cybersecurity. We will need to outline a research question methodology like surveys or stimulation and expected outcomes. Yun na po.
Tapos na yung chapter 1 or may continuation pa?
Kasunod na po yung second group.
Okay, sige. Go ahead. Right after nung buong chapter 1 saka ako mag-ano. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry sir, naglag po. Rinig po ba sir?
Yes. Dapat ang presenter naka-turn on yung cam. Pinakita.
Ay sir, ako po kasi nag-shared screen po eh. Thank you. Wala ka, naglag.
Go ahead. Narinig ka namin.
Wait lang po sir, naglalag po.
Naku, lagot ka. Baka mag-lag ang grades mo.
Hello sir, sorry po. Okay sir. Good afternoon po sir and classmate. I am Renzo po and my partner Rico. And we are the one who's assigned to discuss the chapter 1, which is the research basic. Ito po yung table of contents ng aming report. 1 is what you can do with research.
Ay, po,
2 is sir?
Go ahead.
2 is
Nahulog lang Sonny's ko. Go.
Okay po. 2 is characteristic of research. 3 is types of research. 4 is research design. And last po yung exercise. So, let's start into the exciting world of research and explore kung ano nga ba ang may tutulong at yung halaga nito para sa atin. Research isn't just about gathering information. Ito din ay isang pabago-bagong proseso na nagpapalawak ng ating kaalaman. Magawa ng bagong solusyon sa ating problema at syempre yung kasagutan para sa pagbabago. So, let's proceed po sa tanong na what you can do with research. Research is a dynamic process that plays a crucial role in advancing knowledge across various fields. It serves as a powerful tool to explore, understand, and innovate. Here are some key aspects of what we can achieve through research. First is expanding horizons. Research allows us to push the boundaries of existing knowledge. It empowers us to discover new facts, connections, and possibilities. Second is problem solving. It provides a structured approach to addressing complex questions and challenges. Through research, we can dissect problem, identify potential solutions, and implement effective strategies. Third is informed decision making. In a world inundated with information, research equips us with the skills to critically evaluate data. It enables us to make well-informed choices in the various domains, from healthcare to policymaking. Fourth is fostering innovation. Research fuels creativity and drives progress. It leads to the development of new technologies, products, and methodologies that have the potential to revolutionize industries. Fifth is driving social change. Through empirical evidence and rigorous analysis, research can lead to informed policymaking. It addresses societal issues and drives positive transformation in communities. 6. Contributing to academic discourse. Research in the foundation of academic scholarship. It adds to the body of knowledge in the particular field, shaping the discourse and influencing future research. 7. Voice personal growth and skill development. Engaging in research hones critical thinking, problem solving, and analytical skills. It fosters a mindset of curiosity and lifelong learning. 8 is career advancement. For professionals, engaging in research can lead to career growth and recognition. It demonstrates expertise and can open doors to new opportunities. 9 po is improving quality of life. Research in fields like healthcare, technology, and social sciences directly impacts the well-being and quality of life for individual and communities. And yung last po is preserving cultural heritage. Research in the humanities and cultural studies help preserve and understand the rich tapestry of human history, traditions, and languages. And now, I'll be discussing naman po yung characteristic of research. So, ano-ano nga ba yung mga katangian nito? So ito yung mga katangian ng research. Yung critical, analytical, logical, methodical, cyclical, objective, clear, replicable, empirical, accurate, timely, original, and last yung relevant. So, dito makikita po na natin na sobrang daming characteristic of research. Kaya i-share ko din po sa inyo yung tips na nalaman ko para kahit papaano ay mas madali nating matandaan yung ganito kadaming katangian na research. Dito po, we can use the word ay the acronym Calm Co-Creator, which stands for sa mga nasabi ko pong katangian kanina. Ito. So, tapos let's proceed po na discuss silang lahat one by one para mas lalo po natin silang maunawaan. So, critical. It involves objective analysis and evaluation to achieve precise judgment. The word critic, we judge dito sa research nga po. So, in term ng tamang judgment, kailangan natin ng maayos na pagsusuri at pag-evaluate. Next is analytical. Carefully analysis or analytical skill is necessary in order to draw conclusion, to explain why something happened or how it come to be. Gaya po ng nasabi ko kanina, kailangan natin ng maayos na pagsusuri para sa ganun ay makuha din natin yung tamang conclusion. Next is logical. Based on valid procedures and principles that adheres to the rule of logic. So as we do research, we are guided by the rules of logic. So dito, ayun, logic nga. So bakit mo gagawin yung mga bagay na hindi naman dapat gawin? At syempre gawin mo yung dapat gawin. Yun lang. Next is methodical. Methodical research follows systematic procedure in order to acquire needed data. The root method, may sinusundan tayong procedure in order for us to get the right information. Next po is cyclical. It follows a process which starts with a problem and with another problem. Then the word cycle naman o yung paulit-ulit yung process. So of course, yung research ay problem-based na activity. Automatic na if may masagot na question ay another question na naman ang lalabas. That's why cyclical po. Next is objective. It assumes that a truth is already existing and it's the researcher's task to discover it. Siyempre, being a researcher, kailangan ay meron kang assumption o meron ka dapat matuklasan. Meron ka dapat pong goal para malaman yung truth doon sa study mo. Next po is clear. Key messages and purpose are well presented and also keeping in mind to always use simple, direct, concise, and appropriate words. So when doing our research, hindi gumagamit yung mga researcher ng mga term na mahirap daw po unawain. Kailangan yung formal, yung mauunawaan ng kahit sinong babasa. Next is replicable. Obtaining consistent result across studies meant to answer the same problem using new information or other new scientific statistical method. So, kinakailangan na consistent yung mga result or outcome ng research mo. Example nga is yung paggawa ng vaccine na kailangan dumaan sa paulit-ulit na proseso na kung saan nagpapakita ito ng consistent na result o nakakapagpagaling nga ito ng virus. Next po is empirical. Acquire information based on observation, experience, and experiments. So, kinakailangan na yung nakukuha nating data o information ay based sa ating experience o experiments nga daw po. Next is accurate. capable of reaching the intended or exact target, information, and or result. Dito kinakailangan na makuha daw yung intended information or result na gusto talaga natin makuha sa studies natin. Next is timely. Kinakailangan, topic and information must be available and accessible at the present times. So, ayun. Kinakailangan na available yung mga information natin o napapanahon talaga yung mga target natin na research. Next po is regional. Output and topic must be fresh and new. Also, researchers must ensure not to repeat what another researchers has done before. So dito pag alam na po natin na yung study natin ay nagawa na ng iba, ay syempre wag na po gawin yun. Dahil it's no use doing something na na-discover na po ng iba. And last po, yung relevant. Topic must contribute in improving current society, such as solving problems affecting the lives of people in the community. So kailangan nga daw na yung topic ay importante. It's a must na makakatulong po ito sa ating society. And next po is pagpapatuloy ni Rico Gabote.
Hello po, nakikinig ako, please. Good afternoon, everyone. So, I'm Christian Rico Di Gabutin. Then, ang pag-uusapan po namin or ang aking iuulat ay tungkol sa types of research. So, next po. First is applied research. Applied research is a scientific study that seeks to solve various practical problems in the day-to-day life. It finds answer or solution to everyday problems, cure illness, develop innovative technologies, etc. So sa applied research po, dito po na pumapasok po lahat ng mga problema such as environment, economy, and etc. po. So this is the example of applied research is improve agricultural crop production or treat cure specific disease, improve energy efficiency of homes, offices, modes of transportation. Next, excuse me. Basic research. Basic research is called the fundamental or pure research. It expands the person's knowledge. These types of research not going to create or invent anything new. Instead, it's based on basic science investigation. So, sa basic research po, hindi naman po lahat ng nabe-base is science investigation. Dito po sa basic research, magbibigay ng other problems po or mag-i-improve na hindi na naman kailangan mag-embed or gumawa ng panibagong solution. So for example is how did universe begin, and last is what are the protons. Next. Correlational research. So the relationship among two or more variables without necessarily determining the cause and effect is known as correlational research. So sa example ng correlation research or cause and effect is the correlation between obesity and diabetes mellitus or correlation between smoking and cancer. Next. Descriptive research. So this type of research provides accurate portrayal of characteristic of particular individual, situation, or group, also known as statistical research. It deals with everything that can be counted and studied which has an impact on the lives of people. So there's advantage of and disadvantage of descriptive research. Is first disadvantage, which is less expensive and time consuming. Next is collect a large of amount notes for data studying. The disadvantage is require more skills, and last is does not identify cost behind the research. So next, ethnographic research. This type of research involves investigation of a culture through an in-depth study of members of culture. It involves a systematic collection, description, analysis of data for development of theories cultural behavior. These are anthropological studies that studies people, ethnic group, ethnic formation, and social welfare characteristics. It is done on the basis of observation, interviews, questionnaires, and data collection. Dito naman po sa ethnographic research, this is the word of ethnographic, na hinahanap lang po dito or ini-investigate about sa culture through such as yung mga culture ng bansa natin, for example that. Next is Next is experimental research. So this involves objective, systematic, controlled investigation purpose, and predicting, controlling the phenomena. It also includes examining the probability and causality among variables. So the advantage of experimental research is best in establishing the cause and effect relationship, and the disadvantage are artificially feasibility, antithetical variables. There will be two variables. This is the dependent variable and the independent variable. Next, and the last is historical research. Historical research is the process of collecting and interpreting data about the past events or idea in order to find how they affected the present and ideas. It studies the possible research behind certain events to explain their influence on the event that followed. So may dalawang akong types of research na hindi ko na napakita sa dalawang ay sa PPT, which is the quantitative research and the qualitative research. This is yung commonly or madalas natin ginagamit sa mga research. So, ang quantitative research is a way to learn about a particular group of people known as sample population. Using scientific inquiry, quantitative research relies on a data that observe or measure to examine questions about the sample population. And the last is qualitative research. Qualitative research is a multi-method in focus involving an interpretive, naturalistic approach to its subject matter. This means that qualitative research study things in their natural settings, attempt to make sense of or interpret phenomena in terms the meanings of people bring to them. Next is the research design. So the research design refers to the overall strategy that you choose to integrate the different components of the study in a coherent and logical way, thereby ensuring you will effectively address the research problem in constitutes the blueprint for the collection, measurement, and analysis of data. So this is a types of research designs. Next. So the types of quantitative research design. So the first is experimental. So size experimental used to test causal relationship, involves manipulating an independent variable and measuring its own effect on a dependent variable. Subjects are randomly to groups, usually conducted in a controlled environment. So additional lang po sa experimental, so a research method to use to investigate the interaction between independent and dependent variables, which can be used to determine and cause and effect relationships. Experimental research is commonly used to within a framework of the scientific method. So sa experimental po ng quantitative research design, dito po na magpapakita na kailangan po magka-interact ang independent and dependent variable po. Next. So the next is quasi-experimental research design. So it used to test causal relationship similar to experimental design na nasabi, but without random assignment. Often involves comparing the outcomes of pre-existing groups. And the last is often conducted in natural environment, higher ecological validity. Sa madaling salita, quasi-experimental research involves the manipulation of an independent variable without the random assignment of participants, conditions, or order of conditions among the important types that non-equivalent groups designs, pretest, post-test, and interrupted time series design. Next. Correlational. Next mo. Yung yan. So sa correlational, used to test whether and how strongly variables are related. Last is variables are measured without influencing them. So sa correlational research design, it investigates relationship between the variables without researcher controlling or manipulating any of them. A correlation reflects the strength or direction to the relationship between two or more variables. The direction of correlation can be either positive or negative. Next is descriptive research design. It used to describe characteristic, averages, trends, etc. Last is variables are measured without influencing them. In a descriptive research design, the researcher can be used to be either complete observer, an observer as participant, a participant as observer, or a full participant. For example, in a supermarket, a researcher can from upper monitor and track customer selection and purchasing trends. So the next is qualitative research designs. These are the types then. So first is case study. Detailed study of specific subject, example, a place, event, organization, etc. Data can be collected using a variety of sources and methods. Last is focuses on gaining holistic understanding of the case. Sa case study is a research approach that is used to generate in a depth multi-facet understanding of complex issue in its real-life context. It is established research design that used extremely in a wide variety of disciplines, particularly in the social sciences. So next, the ethnography or ethnographic research design. It detailed study of the culture of the specific community or group. So data is collected by extended immersion and close observation. Last is focuses on describing, interpreting beliefs, conventions, social dynamics, etc. So ethnography or ethnographic research design is a qualitative method na sinabi for collecting data, often in use the social and behavioral sciences. Data are collected through observations and interviews, which are to use to draw conclusions about the society's and individual's function. Next pala. Bye-bye. Next is ground theory or grounded theory research design. It aims to develop a theory inductively by systematically analyzing qualitative data. Sa madaling salita, grounded theory or ground theory is a well-known methodology employed in many research studies. Qualitative and quantitative data generation techniques can be used in a grounded theory study. Grounded or ground theory set out to discover or construct theory from data systematically obtained and analyzed using comparative analysis. And the last is phenomenology. It aims to understand the phenomenon or event describing participants' lived experiences or phenomenological research design. So in short, phenomenological research design or phenomenology research design focuses on exploring the essence of human experiences and understanding the meaning of people attribute those experiences. It seeks to capture the underlying structures and core aspects of these experiences without imposing preconceived theories and interpretations. So that's all. Next. There will be a conclusion, which is we conclude that research is the foundation of progress in nearby every field and plays a central role in driving societal, economic, and technological advancement. Its importance lies in its ability to generate knowledge, solve problems, and improve our understanding of the world, ultimately leading to better lives and more a sustainable future. That's all. Thank you.
Meron pa, wala na. Parang 4 lang kayo, akala ko 5 kayo. Okay, so as what our presenter mentioned, no, research, no, on a research on a whole, no, is aimed to establish new awareness, understanding, comprehension, or knowledge regarding a specific issue, the problem, or a controversy. So this diversity is the outcomes of research requires different research methods and techniques for different situations or questions. Towards that effort, the research experts have introduced different research methodologies in an effort to provide researchers with the techniques they need to meet the diverse nature of research. And the research methods are often classified based on their scope or the depth of their subject matter of the study. Despite the fact that that field of IT research is fairly a new field, a variety of different research methods have been used in this discipline due to the diverse nature of IT and its related technologies. No? The diversity in IT research can be seen in the array of topics that are being dealt with, no? The number of abstract areas being researched, no? And the multitude of research methods being utilized. No? Some categories of nature of IT research in several distinct categories, of course, are the software development category, which encompasses, no, the IT research efforts geared towards the enhancement of software, such as designing algorithms that provides instruction to hardware. No? Concepts such as programming, algorithm, logic design, and software engineering are dominant in this category. Another is information practices category, which encompass the IT research efforts geared towards augmenting the relationship between information and technology. So in other words, it is viewed as a process enabler by supplying needed information. No? Concepts such as information manipulation, like storage, retrieval, transfer, processing, and access are dominant in this category. Another, of course, is the human technology interaction, which encompasses the IT research efforts geared towards improving the relationship between IT and users. Now, dominant in this category are issues such as the how users interrelate with and use the variety of IT artifacts and that they need to make the best use out of these artifacts. No? Another, of course, is the application to other disciplines, no? Which encompasses the IT research effort geared toward improving IT applications. No? In this category, the rules of IT is viewed as a tool that is utilized by other disciplines to solve problems using IT artifacts. Another, of course, is the impact, no, with which encompasses the IT research effort geared towards the consideration of the impact that IT has on a people as being a positive enhancement in their lives. Now, such impact is the rise of ubiquitous computing, which refers to the third generation of computers, where computing provides immediate response to people's needs for services or information by connecting the functionalities that exist, no, in the real world. Another is the sanction. No? Sanction in which encompass the views and opinions of non-IT people, such as the university faculty or other scientists with interest in IT, who can influence the shape and form of IT research and what constitutes an acceptable IT research. Then another is the constructed, no? Which defines those IT research efforts that have no specific category. Therefore, the researcher, based on a personal interest or intention, would define such a research effort. And this category avoids neglecting those uncategorized research efforts, which might prove to be relevant for IT. So, on the other hand, categorizes the overwhelming majority of IT research in the applications of IT in organizations. Such categorization includes the planning, utilization, and management of IT and its related resources in the organizational setting. It further indicates that the nature of IT research is focused on answering the questions of what works as far as the application of technology is concerned. So, how about the IT project management problem? According to Project Management Institute or PMI, project management is the sum of all the practices, processes, and methods that are utilized to produce a service or a product. And the implementation of IT and its related services is manifested by or through the implementation of projects. So managing IT projects have long been plugged with problems which lead to high rate of failure in the successful completion of such projects. So quantifying the success of IT project is often evaluated based on the degree by which the project has adhered to certain success factors such as budget, deadlines, and meeting requirements. So towards the effort of reducing such high rate of IT project failures, many experts and researchers in the field of IT and project management have conducted studies and research efforts in order to define some blueprints to enable project managers to manage projects effectively and successfully. And those researchers and experts actually have utilized different research methodologies and techniques to arrive at their conclusion. So the remainder of this discussions will focus actually on discussing and analyzing these different research methodologies and techniques that had been utilized by the researchers on the subject of IT project manager. So research efforts in general can be classified as either quantitative or qualitative. And this topic will be able to discuss by another presenter. So researchers originally utilized the quantitative research methods in studies involving a natural phenomena from a natural science. Now, however, the scope of these methods have been extended to include social science studies in the form of surveys, experiments, and such formal methods as econometrics. So I don't want to but I just want to add additional. Utilizing a quantitative research approach requires the collection of hard data which then analyzed and manipulated using statistical methods to prove or disprove a hypothesis with at least 95% confidence interval. Because qualitative research methods were originally used to conduct studies that explain social trends or phenomena in social sciences. By its nature, qualitative research is subjective, exploratory, and open-ended. Let's say, for example, qualitative methods are semi-structured interviews where the participants in the study are asked a predefined set of questions which they respond to based on their opinions or attitudes towards the issue in the study. Okay, so I think that's it for chapter 1.